Okay, game 4, and there's wall again on the board. I don't know why we get these wall boards. There's also ritual, which brings to mind curses. Uh, Bringing to mind curses means you have to think about familiar here, right? There's no nice way to trash to get rid of your curses, so familiar is going to be a big deal. The only way to trash curses, excuse me, is with the bishop. And now, getting bishop is a little bit sketchy because it also thins your opponent, right? Curses also become more heavy here because of the wall, so it'll fatten up your deck, and then when your deck is fat enough, you get -1 per card you put into it, right? So now, you're going to buy potion on $4 hand, of course, but what are you gonna buy on the $3 hand? You have a couple choices. You have Caravan Guard, Oracle, or Silver. If you tell me Silver, I can't argue with that. Silver is fine. It's a Silver right through the end of the deck that will have junk in it. Silver is a very good card at that point. I went for the Oracle instead. Oracle is a bit of a draw. It could also attack your opponent. So that's why I went for it. Hopefully it could get me to 3 potion more reliably and cycle as well so I could junk my opponent more quickly. That was the reason for the Oracle there. Caravan Guard is kinda hit and miss. You would like to get the money from the guard when you have the potion in hand, but there's no way to control that really. So just top decking my last 2 cards here. I don't want to trigger the shuffle and draw the familiar dead. That is not something that I want to do. And now that I have 1 familiar in the deck, I don't really feel like I need to go add in silver just to make sure I get to my familiar. I already have one. I could already apply pressure with the curses as is. So here my opponent actually leaves me with an Oracle at the top of the deck, and he also triggers his own shuffle with the Oracle there, which seemed very strange to me at this point. I'm definitely leaving the Oracle on top of my deck. I don't know why he did that, but I am pretty happy, and I'm not gonna cycle him any further here. Um, and actually allows me to get up to another familiar here. So 2 familiars in quick time. So this is the advantage the Oracle can bring you, right? I have cycled my deck quite a bit, and I have a couple familiars, and I can hopefully win this curse split from here. So mine for my opponent isn't crazy, given the length of this game. It's probably going to take some time. The mine will probably get a few players out, and as he mentioned after the game, there's potion. You can mine your potion up to gold or harem. Harem is another attractive target to turn your silvers into. So yeah, the mine actually seems a lot better than what I'm gonna pick up here, which is the bishop on my $5 hand. So okay, the wall partly influenced my bishop buy there because I was still entertaining some thoughts of going for some kind of bishop golden deck thing just to get around the wall, right? That's a very reliable way to score points and never be affected by the wall golden deck. So that's why I went for the bishop. Um, like I said, there's a few issues with the bishop, right? One, I'm not gonna get to play it very often because of the size of my deck. Two, every time I trash a card, my opponent is probably gonna trash a card, so it's going to help him. His mine also partly influenced me to buy that bishop. Maybe he won't want to trash coppers from his hand if he has the mine in hand, because he could probably turn those coppers into silvers. I don't know. So here, now I have a choice, right, of terminal to play. So I am not gonna play the bishop right now because I don't want to thin out my opponent yet. I'm a little bit ahead on the curse split, so I want to try to properly junk my opponent before I start to do anything with bishop or whatever. I even get to skip my opponent's familiar here, or one of them at least. So that's why I refrain from playing the bishop at that point, right? I want to get my opponent nice and junked first, slow him down as much as possible before I go after any shenanigans with bishop. Again, similar kind of reason here for playing the oracle over the bishop. So my opponent's mind starting to do some work here, converting copper into silver. He has another $5 hand, I believe, picks up a second mine here. Again, that after the game, his mines looked a lot better than my bishop. So now I'm just gonna pick up Caravan Guard. Again, I'm still thinking about the golden deck thing, which is why I'm getting the Caravan Guard over silver at this point, right? Because the Caravan Guard will help me with the golden deck thing. It's not gonna get in the way so much. Whereas if I have too many silvers, it's I think it'll be harder to get the cycling that I need to start trashing things out from my deck more quickly to set up the golden deck. I hope that made sense. The Caravan Guard cycles me, which will allow me to get the golden deck set up faster, as opposed to silver, for example. So here, I think I'm actually going to make a play. I'm going to try to buy Ritual to trash this potion and get some points from it. However, um, I put my potion in play, which is one mistake. So I have to undo that, right? And the autoplay just put everything in play for me. Two, my opponent was actually kind enough to tell me this ritual doesn't work if there's no curses in the pile. I mean, he told me this, but I thought, okay, I'll still be able to trash the potion, right? Wrong. No, it's completely conditional. There must be a curse. You have to gain a curse for anything in ritual to work. So he told me, I still bought the ritual and nothing happened, right? So in some way, look, it's my fault for not knowing the rules of the card, right? So I just stuck with my decision in a sense. In another sense, I was just being stupid. So whatever you like from there. So I still have the potion in my deck, which is whatever. Hopefully the bishop could find it and get rid of it, because now it's like next to useless. I shouldn't say that, because there's vineyards on the board, and that is also something that I thought about at the beginning, right? You have vineyards, you have herbalist, you have caravan guard. Those are three piles, fairly cheap. You could target on for vineyards rush strategy, maybe. How viable do you think that is on this board? I'm not entirely sure. I wanted to go for the golden deck thing because forget wall. I want to have the wall affecting me. Forget you, but I'm gonna throw all the vineyard ideas out of the window here by trashing my potion. I mean, I could buy back a potion, but oh well. You would rather have at least two potions in this deck if you're going for vineyards, right? So here, at this point in the game, I'm just playing aimlessly. I'm not really sure what's going on. I start to see now how bad the bishop is, in the sense that like my opponent is getting rid of curses from his deck. It's very slow. There's no real chance of me getting up to anywhere near golden deck status or category or whatever. So now instead of picking up caravan guards, I just go for the big cash. Now I'm just gonna play um, money effectively, right? I've won the curse split, so I have a lot of time on my hands to do things. Let me actually do something semi reasonable. So let me buy silvers and then golds and then provinces and just hopefully close up the game, right? Maybe now I can start opportunistically, is that a word? Opportunistically buying caravan guards and harems, for example, to drain those piles while building up for provinces, etc. So I sort of formulate this plan at this point in the game of just to switch over from my bishop plan into my money plan. I also wanted some treasure maps at some point because I don't know, for some reason I felt like I could get the deck thin enough to make it work, but it was never there. It was simply never there. Now is much too late for mine for me. It won't do nearly as much work. I would just more easily buy the silver than wait for the mine to come around and put a silver into my deck. So here I've shifted over, right? I'm playing money. I have a bunch of these caravan guards, which isn't terrible for money, and I have one bishop and one oracle. So the oracle is good for money. It's a little bit of draw, and you can filter and sift and whatnot with it. So yeah, my opponent's trashing curses, and I really don't like that. He gets +2 points from getting rid of curse from his deck. Also, he gets rid of junk from his deck that he would not be able to get rid of ordinarily. By the way, I had very good luck with the Caravan Guards this game. So many triggers, honestly. Okay, so now I'm finally able to get up to money for gold. But in fact, I have so much money I have for province. I'm just going to take the province here. I'll probably have like $6 hands somewhere down the road. I put a couple of silvers into my deck last shuffle, so should be good to go. Province for me here, and like I said, I'm just going to opportunistically cut down piles now while trying to maintain my lead. I don't really think my opponent could do too much. He lost the curse split too badly, honestly. Maybe he should not trigger that shuffle at the very beginning with his Oracle turn 3 or 4 or something. Because he didn't play the potion in turn 3, right? Which means he had it in hand with his Oracle. So if you're skipping that shuffle, you're effectively saying, look, my familiar is going to skip the shuffle too. So I didn't agree with it because I was pretty sure his potion was in his turn 4 hand. I could be wrong. But I didn't see it on his turn 3 hand, right? So that's why I assumed that. Anyway, so I pick up a harem there, I believe, for 1 point. You know, $6 for 1 point. Oh, wow, so nice. Now I pick up a gold, I believe. Well, I know I don't pick up the harem yet. I'm still picking up golds. I think after the shuffle is triggered, then I start to go for the opportunistic pile out. If I hit 6 on my next shuffle, I won't buy gold, then I'll buy harems, right? Because now the pile is halfway done and there's 2 caravan guards left. So I could opportunistically cut down those piles. If I get more than 6, 8, I'll buy a province. If I get 5, I'll probably buy a duchy. If I get 4, I'll buy caravan guards and whittle away the piles slowly. I have enough time, enough of a points advantage to do so. So I wasn't punished for my aimless play here. My opponent now starts to pick up the bishops, but he's gonna run into the same problem as me, right? Just playing it frequently. How do you play that often? You can't really. So I'm not too worried about it. Another province for me, and that prompts my opponent to resign here. Maybe he felt he was too far in the back, but he could have played a couple more turns and see how things went, especially considering my mindset at this time. Of course, he didn't know it, but this is how things end. Scrappy one here. Thanks for watching. See you.